Do you struggle with feeling incapable or inadequate, so you've settled for less than you really want in life? Hey, welcome back. Jeff Heggie, Daily Success Strategies. Thanks for being with me today. So many people have big goals, big dreams, aspirations, things they want to do, especially at the first of the year. They want to go do all these things. They've set their New Year's resolutions. They're going to kill it. But then as they get going, they can't quite get there. They're not achieving the goals at the level they thought they should. They're not doing the things that they need to be able to get there. And they just don't feel like they're capable of doing it. And so they give up. They settle. They feel like, you know what, it's really something that I wish I could do, but it's really out of my reach. So I'm just gonna stay where I'm at. I'm comfortable here, and that's okay. Well, no, it's not. We don't want you to be comfortable being comfortable just because that's where you think you belong. Those big dreams and goals you have are something that are still something you can achieve. You've just got to be able to step out of your comfort zone. You've got to be able to know what you need to do to achieve those things. You need to have a clear path. You need to know the steps that are going to get you there. But first of all, let's talk about this. On Monday, we said, what are you going to do this week so that on Friday, you'll look back and say it's been a successful week and you're closer to your bigger goals. So let's talk about that. Some of you, if you're any of my coaching clients, you would have got your emails on Monday and your other ones today following up on the accountability. But tell me how you've done. Send me a DMs. If you're watching or listening to this on social media, post in the comments. Hold yourself accountable, because those are the things that are going to help you to get past those points where you're stuck, where you're not feeling like you're adequate enough to do these things. You've got to have someone holding you accountable. So I want to help you do that. So make sure that you're looking at everything you've done. Did you do what you said you wanted to do this week? If not, how are you going to get there? You know, and if you're new here, thanks for joining. One of the things I always talk about is if you don't have clearly defined written out goals, get my free Bigger Future Goal Setting program at jeffhaggie.com/goals, because it's going to help you to do this, because there's a lot of things that we need to do to help you get these things. Because the other part of all this accountability to make sure you have a successful week is to make sure you're getting closer and closer to your bigger goals. On Monday, when you set the goals for the week, those goals need to be focused on getting you closer to your bigger goals. And that's what I want to talk about today, because I always tell people, if you haven't gone through it, if you don't have clearly defined written out goals, go get my Bigger Future Goal Setting program. It's free. It's a great program. It's going to help you get clarity and get things figured out. But I know a lot of people don't do that. So that's what I'm going to talk about today, because over the last couple weeks, I've talked to a few people, and basically they've all said the same thing, that they've had the big goals, they've had the dreams, and then they just couldn't break through that ceiling. They couldn't get where they thought they needed to go, and things weren't going right for them, so they just settled. They're okay being where they are. It was good enough. Well, I don't want you to feel that good enough is good enough. We want to be able to reach those goals. We want to keep that momentum and keep going. So what I'm going to do today is talk about part of this. If you're watching this on video, it's the booklet that comes with the Bigger Future Goal Setting program. I'm not going to go through every bit of it, and I'm only going to go through a portion of it today. But in order to do this, in order to really understand where you want to go, what your goals are going to be, you need to really have a clear understanding of where you are now. You need to have a clear understanding of who you are. And so, again, my suggestion, it's going to be better than this podcast. Go to jeffhaggie.com/goals. Get this goal setting program, go through it. It's free. You're going to get this booklet. You're going to go through a video with me that I walk through this in a lot more detail. But I'm going to start today, for those of you that don't go through it, or just a review that if you have. The first part is a self-assessment. So I'm going to go through some questions that I want you to think about. And if you're somewhere where you can write it down, I want you to answer these questions. What do you love to do? How do you love to spend your time? What are your least favorite things to do? What are your best current success habits? What do you know that you should be doing but you're not? What makes you feel fulfilled and that you're living your life purpose? What makes you happy? If money were no object, what would you do day to day? What does a perfect day look like? So to begin your self-assessment, those are some questions that I want you to go through. And this is all part of this program. So love you to go get that. But this is important to figure out for yourself. What is your current reality compared to your expectations of yourself? Where do you want to be compared to where you actually really are is what we're asking. And then the reason I got thinking about this is I was talking to different individuals. I had an opportunity to do a presentation for a company a few weeks ago, and I did a follow-up presentation last week. But at the beginning of this follow-up presentation, it was with a lot bigger group than the initial presentation was for. The first one was for a smaller group, and I walked them through a lot of the things that are in this program. And at the beginning of this second presentation, we had about 9 people from this company stand up and talk about their experience at the first meeting. And the first lady that spoke talked about this part of really figuring out your current reality, and especially this next part that we're going to talk about. And I realized, this is something I do so much, I don't always hear the feedback on it, but it is really an important part. As you're setting your goals, as you're figuring out where you want to be, you have to have a clear picture of your truth, of where you are right now compared to where you want to be. So those are the questions I want you to start with. Then I want you to go through and rank each of these on a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being the best. Where's your business or career right now? Family and friends. Finance. Health and fitness. Spirituality. And personal development. And as you figure that out, let's say your business and career, let's say you're at a 7. Now I want you to go through all those same ones: the business, career, family, friends, finance, health, fitness, spirituality, personal development, and write out, what does a 10 look like for you? If you were going to be a 10, what does that look like? Then what I want you to do, in this booklet that comes with the program, for those of you that are watching on video, you can see it here. I have a pie graph, a wheel chart. And for each one of those, I want you to rank where you are. It has the 1 to 10. And what that's going to do to you, let's say just for number's sake, let's say every single one of those was an 8, except your health and fitness was a 4. Well, it looks like a wheel here. And when you connect those, it would make a perfect circle until it got to a 4. And it shows that 4 is out of balance. You're out of whack on that one. You've got a flat tire, it looks like. Well, as we're trying to figure out where we want to go in life, who we want to become, the goals that we want to achieve, you've also got to understand that you can't put all of your focus into, let's say, your personal development and forget everything else. You can't put all of your focus into your business and career and forget your family and friends, finance, and health and fitness. You've got to be able to balance these things. They're not all going to be the same. They're not all going to be your top priorities, but you've got to understand how to do this. But the most important part right now is what I want you to be able to do is really gain a true picture of your current reality, of the truth of where you are right now. Because as we set these goals, I'm going to go through in future episodes talking about the next part of this program. But as we're trying to figure out these goals and how we're going to achieve them, we've got to understand where we're starting. And we don't want to get to a point where we don't understand where we're starting, so we're setting goals and we really can't create a path on how we're going to get there because we don't know where the start point is. And that is why you get to the point where you get frustrated, you feel inadequate, you feel incapable of achieving these things, you can't bust through that ceiling, and so you settle. This all takes work, and as we get through it, we go through the goal setting process, we go through all these things, but this is the start where you need to start. You need to understand where you are. So in my next episode, I'm going to talk more about the goal setting process, how we go about doing that, and what you need to do to make sure that you're setting the goals in the proper way, figuring out your purpose, your why behind each one. There's a really powerful way of doing that. And then we're going to get into creating your path of how you're going to achieve those things and what success habits you need to put in place to make sure you achieve those things. That's what I'm doing, is trying to help people to perform at their best, whether it's as a parent, whether it's as an entrepreneur, whether it's as an athlete. That's what I want to focus on, is helping you achieve the highest level that you're meant to achieve. But I don't want you to settle. Like I said, good enough's not good enough. Now, one of the things, I've already talked to some of these individuals. I am going to do a free session talking about this fairly soon. I don't have a date specified yet, but it'll probably be in an evening that I do this on a virtual one through Zoom. If you want to be on that call, just send me an email at jeff@jeffheggie.com and say current reality and give me all your information. Make sure I can follow up with you. But I would love for you to join us on that, but it's going to be going through more detail of this stuff. And I want to just help you set yourself on the right path to success. Again, if you don't have this, I strongly suggest going to jeffheggie.com/goals. If nothing else, to get the booklet, work through these things. But I know this is going to help you. So have a great weekend. Thanks for being with me. If you didn't hear me talking about it yesterday, I do have a few spots open still for my Best Year Ever coaching program. Go to jeffheggie.com/best year ever if you want to check that out. There's some great things in there, and love you to join us. But otherwise, do me one favor, share this with someone else that could use it. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend. I'll be back tomorrow. Hey, athletes and parents of athletes. So much time, money, and effort is put into the physical aspect of your sport to become the best you can be. But the mental game, it's often neglected, and it's just as important as the physical game. In fact, it's usually the differentiator between the good and the great athletes. Come and join me in the Confident Athlete program, where you'll learn to control your confidence, develop a powerful mindset, and unlock your full potential. Go to jeffheggie.com/confidentathlete to find out more. I look forward to seeing you there. Hey, some of you may know this, but in addition to my coaching, I've recently joined Geneva Financial Home Loans, a mortgage lender headquartered in Chandler, Arizona, as a mortgage loan originator. I've always had a passion for serving others, and now I'm proud to also be a part of Home Loans Powered by Humans. If you're in the state of Arizona and looking to take the next step in your journey, contact me at 801-830-3858 to start the conversation. NMLS number 42056, BK number 0910215, Equal Opportunity Lender.